You've seen this photo before. Workers eating lunch on a steel beam, hundreds of feet above New York City. It looks like a raw, dangerous moment from the Great Depression. But what if I told you this iconic image was staged on purpose? And it's not the only famous photo that turned out to be completely misunderstood. Today, we're uncovering the real stories behind photographs that fooled millions of people for decades. And one of these photos even convinced one of the greatest minds in history that fairies were real.
The first photographic expert who looked at them said this: "These negatives are entirely genuine, unfaked photographs of single exposure. Open-air work, they show movement in the fairy figures, and there is no trace whatever of studio work involving card or paper models, dark backgrounds, painted figures, etc. In my opinion, they are both straight, untouched pictures."
The staged lunch in the sky. This photograph became a symbol of bravery and survival during the Great Depression. But there's one detail about it most people never question. And once you hear it, the entire image collapses. Let's start with a photograph that captured the world's attention in 1932. You've probably seen it: construction workers sitting on a steel beam, eating lunch hundreds of feet above New York City with no safety equipment. For decades, people believed this was just another day at work during the Great Depression. The truth: this image was staged. The photograph, titled "Lunch Atop a Skyscraper," was actually a publicity stunt organized by Rockefeller Center to promote their new building. The workers were real construction employees, but they were specifically positioned and directed to create this dramatic shot. While they were genuinely high up without safety gear, which was sadly normal for that era, the casual lunch scene was entirely arranged for the camera. The edited victory banner. This photo helped rewrite the ending of World War II. It was printed everywhere and trusted completely, but it was altered twice, and almost no one noticed. Moving to 1945, there's a photograph of Soviet soldiers raising their flag over the Reichstag building in Berlin, marking Nazi Germany's defeat. This image became one of the most powerful symbols of World War II. But the photographer Yevgeny Kalday actually arrived at the Reichstag after the battle had ended. He recreated the flag-raising scene with soldiers posing for the camera. Even more interesting, the original photograph showed one soldier wearing two watches, suggesting he had looted them. Soviet censors airbrushed out one watch before publishing the image. The photograph was staged twice, once for the camera and once in the darkroom. The Frankenstein wanted poster. This image was used to hunt down one of America's most wanted men. It appeared on official documents and newspapers across the country, but the body in the photo didn't belong to him at all. Here's a photograph from 1865 that changed American history. After President Abraham Lincoln's assassination, a wanted poster showed John Wilkes Booth alongside his supposed co-conspirators. One image showed Lewis Powell, who had attacked Secretary of State William Seward. For over a century, this photograph was accepted as accurate. Then researchers discovered the truth. The body in the photograph wasn't Powell's at all. It was a composite image. Powell's head had been placed onto another man's body. This was common practice in 19th century photography when creating identification photos, but it means one of America's most important historical documents was actually manipulated. The tame rhino attack. This photo made the photographer look fearless, a wild animal charging straight at the camera. But the danger you're seeing here was carefully manufactured. Let's talk about a photograph from the 1930s that shows a rhino charging directly at a camera. This dramatic wildlife shot was published in National Geographic and other major publications, impressing millions with the photographer's bravery. The reality was completely different. The rhino was actually a young animal at a zoo, and the photographer used clever angles and perspective to make it appear dangerous and wild. The charging pose was achieved by having zoo workers encourage the rhino to move toward the camera, while the background was carefully selected to hide any signs of captivity. This technique was common in early wildlife photography, when traveling to genuine wild locations was extremely difficult and expensive. The cardboard fairies. This photograph convinced millions of people that fairies were real. Even one of the greatest storytellers in history believed it. But the truth was sitting on a girl's bedroom floor. There's a famous photograph from 1917 showing two young British girls with what appeared to be fairies dancing around them. The Cottingley fairies photographs convinced many people, including Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, that fairies were real. These images were analyzed by photographic experts of the time who declared them genuine. The truth only emerged in the 1980s when the elderly women, formerly those young girls, finally admitted they had faked the photographs using cardboard cutouts held up with hat pins. What makes this story remarkable isn't just the deception, but how long respected adults wanted to believe in magic, even with detective fiction's greatest mind endorsing an obvious hoax. Lady Liberty's French construction. Most people believe this photo was taken in New York Harbor. It looks American, it feels American, but it wasn't taken in the United States at all. Finally, there's a photograph many assume shows the construction of the Statue of Liberty in America. The image depicts workers assembled around the statue's face while it's being built. However, this photograph was actually taken in Paris, France, not New York. The Statue of Liberty was completely constructed in Paris first, then disassembled and shipped to America in pieces. This 1884 photograph shows French craftsmen working on the statue in Parisian workshops. Most people assume all construction happened in New York Harbor, but the entire statue was built, tested, and photographed in France before beginning its journey to become America's most recognized monument. These photographs remind us that images don't always tell the full story. Some were staged for publicity, others were manipulated for power, and a few were convincing enough to fool experts for decades. History hides its biggest secrets in plain sight, and sometimes all it takes is one photograph to uncover them. If you enjoy uncovering the real stories behind famous images, subscribe to Rapid Rank, because this channel is all about the moments history never explained until now.